Peace and blessings, Royal Family. You know, I ran out here real quick. It's about to rain. It's drizzling, as a matter of fact. But this is a question from Michael Deline again. He says, how can I receive any information I need from within myself from the astral or spirit world? Well, Michael, that one is kind of simple, but complicated. You know, the answer to it is intuition. Your intuition is the first stages towards getting information from the higher worlds. Let me explain it to you though. It's not like in the pseudo way like we think. How it works is this way. You know, I'm going to give you my example. Anything I give you is from like personal experience. I'm not going to give you anybody's theology. I'm not giving you something out of a book. I'm not giving you ever something I didn't experience already. Now, including when I experienced something and equate it to something in a book, I had to see it first before I go and take it out of a book and bring it back to you. I didn't just make it up or agree on what's out here. Everything that I tell from here is really from experience, and I'm giving you my perspective on how I see it. So from my personal experience now, intuition became the gateway to the spirit world. How it started for me was the ringing of my ears. My ears started ringing, I noticed, like around 7 o'clock every day. And these is when I started posting. And my post was like so in depth and deep that I couldn't like even believe I wrote it when I go back and read them. And so I started getting mad, people liking it and sharing. And so now I started to nurture that, 7 o'clock, ears ring. Grab a pen and paper, and I started jotting it down. And all of a sudden now, everything started making sense to me. It was telling me, like, my intuition is telling me, I've been here, and I'm the first choice you always make, but then you come in, you, the personal you, and be like, nah, let me go do it this way. And that's the type of thing where you be like, yo, damn, I should have listened to my first thoughts. I should have listened to my intuition. So that always been there. It's your first thought. But we never actually pay it because, you know, we've been taught a certain way. So we follow what we've been taught, which is our own will. So we question our own first instinct. And so now, once I started nurturing it and it started explaining to me on its first thought, I realized, oh shit, I've been fucking up all my life, going with my own thought, making mad mistakes. So I said, you know what, I'm going to kick the car into second gear and let him drive. So I started to be my intuition. Meaning, if my intuition said in my head, get up and sweep, I get up and sweep. I didn't go, I'll do it later. If it says get up and go wash the dishes, I wouldn't go, yo, honey, could you go wash the dishes for me? Or Joey, could you go wash the dishes for me? I go wash the dishes. You understand? If it says move to the left, I just will slide to the left. If it say always walk the same path that you do to do these videos, I will do that. So I became my intuition after a while. So from the ears ringing, it was telling me to get a pen and a pad and leave it by your side of your bed, because everybody hours of intuition is different. When their downloads come, where their guides that oversee them, their spirits come onto them and thoughts start coming. Your intuition be the thing, like say you watch a YouTube video. Say, for instance, you watch this video and you disagree with my philosophy, you disagree with what I'm saying. Your intuition is that thing that come in your head that making you start disagreeing. It was like your soul been here already and it's like, nah, man, it didn't happen like this. This is how it happened. But it can't be no book, this is how it happened. It got to be original, like your own concept of it it's kind of personal. That's why you see all these people who's more interested in these other unknown people that is coming up, leaving up their intuition to life. And so you see they're more in touch with your soul and truth than actually saying some philosophy or some theology or something that's a concept made up already by the social construct of life. So once you grab this now, you become your intuition. You all of a sudden, your whole life changed because your intuition take off all your burdens, all your stuff that you're afraid to say no. All of a sudden, your first thought is, get out of here. Leave me alone. You're lying. Stop being fake. All these come from the intuition. That's not easy to do. Most people just fall back and allow themselves to be compelled into bullshit. and live a whole life of being wasting a day on a treadmill going nowhere, not learning nothing. You waste your time and energy with somebody and you didn't get nothing from it. So your intuition will be the one that will start it all. Once you become your intuition, like I said, don't give you regular information. They give you downloads, the astral information, the spiritual world information. So all of a sudden you just be pondering. Most of the time a starer. But you double bodying into your second body, or you into your intuitional mind. Guess what? About a year or so of actually, cultivating your intuition. It could be through poetry, writing just your thoughts in the diary. It could be from making music. It could be from rapping. All those is intuitional things. And all those help develop your soul for it to come out. Because what you're doing is aligning your vibrational and oscillation frequency to your actual soul body. And so by you doing that, they're aligned, perfectly aligned now, like a straight line. And once they're in a straight line, the next thing happens is it comes down on you. They call it the Holy Spirit today. Back in the days, they call it the elixir or the philosopher's stone coming onto you. For ancients, you just become the entity, a spirit, because that's really who's your governing self. You're not one self. You're a bunch of spirits. You got spirits upon spirits that configure your whole commandment of who you are, your constitution. And what they do is they sent you here to go grab information and bring it back to build another world someplace. Them nebulas you see up in space and all that, those is what you're there to build. That's probably you, and all these nebulas is us. Put it like that, unbuilt gases. When it becomes star system, we did our job. So that's what we're here to collect information and to collect subatomic particles, that they call it cosmic particles. You do that through doing yoga. When you're doing yoga, you actually collecting little sperm cells. That's why you see solar energy, or soul, is actually the creative energy. It's the energy of the sex energy. You understand what I'm saying? So when you're receiving sun, you're receiving sperm. The waters, that's sperm. All of that is sperm, but it's not our sperm. It's God's sperm, the universal sperm. You understand? So you're here to collect that. That's free radicals in the air. Once you get enough of them, it's like each one is a memory, each one is a little puzzle. You're just collecting them all to build these worlds. And so that's what's going on. So once you line yourself up with your intuition comes down on you. Once you have that now, you're like a higher being. It's like your mentor body comes down and takes its position. This is what we call to the soul. We have our soul now. When you hear Socrates and C.J. Jung talking about they got their demions, all the Greeks in them with their demion next to them, or the Egyptians with their eagle over them, all of them is telling you that their soul came down through intuition. Because back then they didn't have computers, they didn't have social media, they had only their intuition to survive off of, so they was those beings. Today we got more dictionaries, books, and teachers, and just society on a whole, the domination of white people, the most stupidest thing in the world. I don't know how they just did that. But anyway, they're making the world white, which is weird, because even in the 1600s, the 1400s, even the 1700s, there was no racism, man. I don't know. Racism is fake, man. That's something the KKK just made up on everybody, because it was never no white world. You had white black people. You had black white people. It was a matter of rich and poor. All that is some other shit that was just implemented to throw off our psychology. Anyway, that's a different topic. But the bottom line is this: unite yourself with your intuition and you will get up into the higher worlds. Once you get yourself up into the higher worlds, you become your intuition, which is the mentor, the soul. Once you become the soul, you can't turn it off. It's always talking to you. He tells you everything. As a matter of fact, that's when you go into isolation to hear him. Just you and him talk. I'll give you an example. It's the craziest thing in the world. I really don't talk to too many people. My soul talks to me all day. And the shit that it tells me is unbelievable. I wish I could record some of it. You know, I am my soul speaking, but this is nothing. I'm nobody in vocal words coming out my mouth compared to what feeds down to my mind. I'd be mad I can't capture it, because when the soul and the mind talk, your intuition talk, or you extracting information from the astral world, it's hard to put it into English, because of the simple fact our words don't render us what our insides is telling us. We have to do the best we can to make it into sensible information. So that's what it is. But to get your download, nurture yourself. Start off with your intuition. Listen to your inner self as it speaks, and it speaks to you as those. As a duality, something you're going against, something that is not true, something that make you question it, and that's your intuition giving you all that. Sit down and let it flow. Write poetry. Take it back to that Def Comedy Jam when they did that talk thing, because that's the spirit coming out of you. It first knows its place is in poetry. That's why everything is in parables, because they're not going to tell you everything straight up. It's like you could extract a lot of soul information out of somebody's poetry, out of somebody's song. Same thing, a song and music is poetry. So once you realize that, then you'll understand how the soul works. It's the poet in you, the poet of God, the poet of the higher worlds. So once you grasp that, you need intellect to make it fully have a voice, because it uses big words, definitions that is not in your small vocabulary, unless you got a good way of articulating yourself. But you would read to acquire bigger words, expand your vocabulary, expand your vision, expand your choices. They say that if you don't have no type of vocabulary, no type of intelligence, you are actually a slave, because your mind cannot be free. Being free is having all the options in life and being able to choose. But if you don't read no books and you don't have no information in you, you're a slave, because you don't have no options like everybody else do, although they're all there. It's a free world, but the world is something that needs to be having knowledge of it first. You have to have knowledge of the world. That's why in Hosea, if you look it up, I think it's Hosea 4, he said, my peoples perish for a lack of knowledge of God. And that's a fact. God is not just a being up in the sky. He's actually the whole system you live in. It's a system that the elite got it, the occult got it, the Illuminati got it, it's language all its own. And if you don't understand your inner self, which is the voice of the universe, it's syntax, it's cobalt, it's numbers, it's logos, it's everything except for what you speak out your mouth. You have to learn to silence yourself and let the inner voice speak. So to summarize, it works like this. The body is a computer. If you turn off the receiving thing or your Wi-Fi, you have all the data within on you. But now, when you have your Wi-Fi on, you could either transmit or receive. You want to receive by being quiet. The more quiet you are, the more your inner self talks and runs his mouth. Your inner self don't talk at first if you got bills, your woman stress you out, your man stress you out, your kids stress you out. Anything that put pressures up, burdens upon the consciousness is first got to be released. So you would just have to listen to those frivolous things for a while. Once you're comfortable and good, straightened out your life, don't have too many bills where you running every minute. It's hard for a person to be free if you know you got rent in 30 days. It's easier when you pay your rent 2 months ahead, so you got room to chill. Your mind could be free. You could go relax. But if you're on a 30-day cycle of paying bills, you're not going to ever be really free for your soul to come in. And I know that's important, because it was once I put myself ahead, way ahead, I was able to be free like a little kid again, do whatever I want. And so think about that. Maybe you got to sacrifice sometimes, not doing anything but work hard, get 2 jobs, maybe for 4 to 6 months, then quit one and pay up your bills. Yes, pay up your bills and rent for a few months. Once your bills and rent is paid up for a few months, you can sit back now and think. You're free man again. You understand? So I want you to understand that's how it works. That's how you get to your higher self. That's how you get to be your DNA unlocks too. When you do this, it's activating your DNA, because it's all energies and frequencies, perceptions. All of these add up to activation of chromosomes and cells. It's also the way to unlock your Kundalini. It's a great way. So that's the answer to that, intuition. University of Conscious Science. One love.